and how to extend the quality of life for your cherished companions. As a community advocate, I will also discuss important social issues that affect our city. I plan to showcase organizations and heroes who are doing amazing things to help others. Remember to tune in every Tuesday morning at 10, starting soon.
Do you want to relive the golden days of Stockton? Join Nate Knott on Stockton Alive every first and third Monday at 6 p.m. Tune into thevoiceofstockton.org.
Attention, Stockton. Are you experiencing a transition in business, relationships, health, or your life purpose? I'm Darius Oliver, and I help people to look within and find clarity and direction in their constantly changing lives. Tune in and listen with me as I go deep into your patterns and personal cycles through divine numerology. Any life transition you're experiencing can be illuminated by an in-depth analysis of your chart. For the first time in Stockton, you now have access to a professional numerologist here to help you light your own way. I'm in the booth to help you find your own truth. Tune in to Divine Numerology every Friday at 3 p.m. on The Voice of Stockton.
For more information on the Voice of San Joaquin, go to tvosj.org.
Da 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 da, shabba da do da da da, shada da dee da da da, shada da dee da do da da da, shada da dee da da da, shada da be da do da da da, shada da be da da da, yeah, shada da dee da, shada to Tobias.
The Voice of San Joaquin and the Voice of Stockton present Women in Business with your host, Chef Tobias Cooks.
Hello, 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 hello. Chef Tobias Cooks here with the Voice of San Joaquin, formerly known as the Voice of Stockton. Yes! How is everyone doing? We are here, Women in Business. So excited. Don, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, Chef?
Yes, you are the only man I know that has claimed to be half woman.
That's right.
So... It is so happy to have you here. The first week of March. Yes.
Yes, happy March.
Women in Business. So, for you know, yes, no, not yet. Women in Business. Our first week of Women's History Month. I am so excited. So, my very, very first guest for Women's History Month is a very good friend of mine. I will let her introduce herself as well. So this is going to be a two-part show. The first part of the show, we are going to get to know my guest and find out all the exciting events that's going on in Stockton. And stick around for the second half of our show. All right, let's get started. Introduce yourself.
Hey, hey, hey. Well, you know I'm home, y'all. So.
Yes.
I am Miz J. Thank you so much for having me on today. I'm excited to be here. Good to see both of you. Thank you, Dawn. But I just really wanted to say thank you for the opportunity. I love watching you, but to be sitting here next to you is even better. So I'm excited.
Yes, and our second half of the show, we will be talking more about how Miz J and I met. It's a great story, so please stick around for that. Okay, Miz J, author, public speaker, coach, Stocktonian.
Yes, home.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Women's for P.U.M.P. Organization. You are the founder of P.U.M.P.s.
Yes.
Could you tell us what P.U.M.P.s mean?
P.U.M.P.s is an acronym, P.U.M.P.S. Purpose, Uplifting, Mentoring, Positivity, and Sisterhood. It actually started as a community project that I wanted to do. I will confess, and I have before, to tell people that it was a bit selfish for me. Even though I am from Stockton originally, I went to college in Atlanta, Georgia. Shout out to all my Spelman sisters,
all
the wonderful Spelmanites. Actually, everybody in the AUC. So shout out to Spelman, Clark, even Morris Brown, aka Mo B.
Wow.
Morehouse College, ITC, and Morehouse School of Medicine. But when I got back to California some years ago, I started traveling and I came back home. I missed that sisterhood. I missed that camaraderie. I missed that connection, not just with Black women, but just with women, period. You know, the comfort of being able to hold your sister's hand and give a hug without being looked at sideways, like what they got going on.
Because we're in California.
We're in California. You know, without that, without that judgment, I was missing that. And so when I got involved with a lot of civic leadership organizations, there was one called PLTI, Parent Leadership Training Initiative. At that time, they were partnered with a different organization that's no longer, but part of the requirement, it's kind of like a Stockton Leadership Group that we have here. It's a lot like that. So it's about 20 weeks long. You know, you get training on civic leadership. You meet a lot of leaders. At that time, the now mayor Michael Tubbs was just a council member. Moses Zapien was on the board. Yeah, shout out to him. So we got to work with a lot of people in leadership to fuel our passions for our community. And they asked a simple question: what do you need?
Oh, wow.
Most successful people have a solution to a problem or a remedy for an issue. But at that time I was being selfish, and I only had a problem was I missed my sisters. I was born an only child. My mom did adopt my little cousin, but we're 10 years apart. So she was more like my child. So I said, we have to do something for women. Let's just do a project. So long story, a little bit shorter, just going through process and doing research and going through the class, P.U.M.P.S was born. And just to get women to come together, we were only supposed to have one event. I just wanted to do this big conference and just celebrate, not talk about the problems all the time, not get together and complain about men like we love to do all the time. But to get together and empower each other, to get together to fuel each other in our passions. And some women, I mean, no matter what the age, have yet to find their purpose in life. And I really just kept going forward with that. So our California Assembly person for this district, Susan Telemontes Eggman, was part of that process as well. And she helped usher not just me, but a lot of us in our community projects. And it just began to grow, began to connect with a lot of other women who had the same desires, to connect just to be positive. You know, we don't have to have a specific agenda, but just to connect to somebody without the drama, without looking to be like, you know, her hair all right, but she ain't cute like me. You know, that type of thing.
And you're not.
Right. So to get rid of all that toxicity, to get rid of all that negative stinking thinking, and P.U.M.P.S was born. Our graduation date was July 11th, 2013. And on that day, with my proposal to the state of California, it was actually approved. And on the board was Susan Telemontes Eggman, Michael Tubbs, Moses Zapien, and the coordinators for PLTI. And to this day, the assembly office still supports. Susan Eggman became a member. Moses Zapien has helped us in a lot of ways. And now 5 years, almost will be 6 years this year. We are a nonprofit organization, 501c3. We received proclamation for Women's Equality Day. That's August 26th from San Joaquin County. And we have surpassed any expectations that I have or had. And I'm just excited and blessed and also humbled to wear that title as founder, to wear the title as executive director, and to be connected with women now internationally that are members of the organization. So P.U.M.P.S is not just something that I do. It has become who I am. It has become a mark in not just history for Stockton and San Joaquin County, but literally for women around the world. And I am truly blessed, and I'm just excited to watch it grow. It's beyond me now. Now I'm just like, oh, look at what we doing, you know.
That is so amazing. I know that I've attended groups before, or seminars before, and Chef Tobias Cooks was actually born from a similar group as well. So it's really exciting to see being a part and being amongst those names that you just mentioned, and still have that support,
right?
Still have the collaboration, and still growing.
Yeah, we're still growing. I'm actually the end of this month.
I'm trying to be professional.
Yes. The end of this month, March 30th and 31st, is our spring induction for our NorCal chapter.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that. Our structure for our organization is a lot like a sorority. There is an induction process. There's an interview process. You have to do a training class. Bless our creator. It started out being 5 weeks long, but with the help of some wonderful women, we've condensed it to only 5 hours. So we have a Super Saturday class for induction.
Listen, you have some pretty powerful women
in
your organization.
Yeah.
And so 5 weeks is like...
5 weeks was a long time. Like the founding members, the first... I would say the first 3 classes that we had, it was a lot. But we had a lot of, I would say, we had a lot of great supporters. Charter House Center for Families was our host organization. They are no longer here. But also Prudential Real Estate was donating their space for us to meet. So we had a lot of support to help that move along. But yeah, shouts out to the founding members. They went through 5 long weeks, and you have to complete the induction before you become a member. So they had to stay dedicated. There were women that went for 3 weeks and 4 weeks and still didn't make it. So I'm grateful now. It's only 5 hours. It's a Super Saturday. We still feed breakfast and lunch. But it's only for us to not just get an understanding of what it takes to be a member, but to have that in-depth time to do the work. It's not only spiritual work, it's sister work. And then the next day on the 31st, we have our sisterhood ceremony where the elder sisters welcome the new sisters and the community gets to be involved.
Oh, I love that. And another thing is some things that I go to and I'm like, I already know this. 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 So the 5 hours would be great because then you could bypass a lot of stuff. And get right down to what it really is needed.
And I'll be completely transparent about it. Our classes are lit. Like our training class.
I can imagine.
It's because it's so condensed and we get right to it. The results come that quick. So there are women that have gone through the application process, that are waiting for their interviews that start out intimidated. Like, I don't know what I need to do. I know what I'm passionate and good about, but I don't know my true purpose. And by mid-class, by that 3rd hour, they're on it. They're like, oh, this is what I'm here for. And to be able to witness that is just, I mean, to say it's a blessing is an understatement. It is something phenomenal. I have seen women, to become a member, you have to be at least 18 years old. So women from 18 to our eldest sister is in her 60s turn their lives around just that day within that class. And I always tell the women, if we don't do nothing else after this day, we have done enough. So like I said, I'm blessed. It's just awesome. Those women are
and the opportunity. So that's coming up March 30th, 31st. Whomever's interested, please contact Miz J. Her information is right in our comments. Or you can have the information for next year, right?
True.
For this area.
Yes. And you can just log on to our website. The information is posted on the Voice of San Joaquin. And Don's doing an amazing job to tag everybody. So you can find it.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the P.U.M.P.S tour. I know for me, I'm like, are you here? Are you in California? Where are you?
Everybody says
like, where are you? Where are you at right now? What's going on? So I know that you are traveling a lot and you do a lot of traveling. So how is that with the P.U.M.P.S tour?
P.U.M.P.S is a vision that I had years ago. And what normally happens with us women, because we are amazing multitaskers, we feel as if we can't do this and this, this and that, because we're doing so much at the same time. But what came to me in spirit was understanding the power we have within ourselves, the power we have in our own shoes. You know, there's a common saying to say, you know, walk a mile in my shoes, you know, for other people to understand. There's even organizations that have men doing the relay race where they wear heels to try to relate to women. But too often we forget how powerful we are standing in our own shoes.
Yes.
So with that, I wanted to make sure to share that word and empower women in that aspect, that a lot of times you're not going to get people to understand your vision.
Yes.
You're not going to get people to even agree with your strategy or what you're putting out there.
Yes.
But what you can be encouraged by, what you can stand in, is the power that you have within yourself, in your own shoes, standing up for yourself, standing strong, even when you have opposition, even when you have what a lot of people need title as haters. You know, standing in your own light and your own power and being okay with that.
Yes.
It's okay to be self-full. You know, it's okay.
I like that. Say that again.
It's okay to be self-full.
Okay, so self-full.
Full. Yes.
Right, I'm going to...
Go ahead, take that, girl.
I'm going to take that hashtag.
Self-full.
Yes.
It is okay to be self-full, to feel yourself.
Yes.
Before you try to feel others. And as mothers, even those of us who are not mothers, who are nurturers, just naturally, we're used to just giving.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, we get exhausted. We feel drained. And so I want to make sure on this tour that I share that light and allow women to connect in that understanding that it's okay. It's okay. You're by yourself, but you're not alone.
Yes.
A lot of women can relate. They might not say anything. That's just like on social media. You'll see, I mean, you know, in business, on business pages, it'll show how many people viewed it. You might have 1,000 views and only 2 likes.
Yeah, but
to engage.
That's how it is. And that's why I stopped looking at likes.
Yeah.
And another thing is I even stopped looking at how many people like your page.
True.
Because oftentimes a lot of people do not like your page or they do not like your likes. And that's just a lot of factors in it. Yeah. But most of the time it's your competitors or people who don't like what you do. So they don't want you to know that they're on it. But they listen and watch every single thing. That's a whole nother conversation. Digital marketing. I'm actually going to do a show on digital marketing.
Yes.
And that's a very powerful tool that we don't even understand. That market is not really even tapped into like it should be. But I'm a huge digital marketer. Like I
can't even keep up.
I'm huge with it, and a lot of people don't understand it, and a lot of people don't even know. Because here's the thing: there's so much outside of your circle and your box.
That'll preach right there. Keep going.
No,
you keep. I'm waiting on you. I love to receive, but that's absolutely right.
Yes, and here's the thing: you're a Stocktonian. Your mom, your mother. We're gonna give her a proper introduction.
Mom.
We have to do her full new name.
Yes, Gwendolyn Daly, formerly known as Gwendolyn Primus. But she divorced that name and attached herself to a strong, amazing man, Derek Daly.
Yes.
What's up?
Yes, and I love how your platform is now outside of Stockton. True. Now it's outside of California.
Yes.
And it should be.
Yes.
Because of the message that you have to give to women.
And I'm thankful. I'm ready to go even further. Included or intertwined with the P.U.M.P.S tour, I will also be launching new chapters. Like I said before, P.U.M.P.S is set up like a sorority. So we have ambassadors in different states, actually 11 different states now. Last year, we launched our Atlanta, Georgia chapter with our founding members there. So that will grow. And pretty soon, I mean, I'm really that type of visionary to believe that nearly every woman in every country around the world needs to be a part of P.U.M.P.S because of what I've experienced personally and what I've witnessed. I believe all women deserve it.
Yes. And truly it's needed. It really is needed because as much as we think that we've done a job, we haven't even begun to.
We barely scratched the surface. And unfortunately, it's just a habit that we have that a lot of times we want to get together and just party.
Yes.
You know, and that's okay. We all need that time to relax. We need that time to just shake it all off, not talk about what obligations we have, sit back and drink some tea, drink some wine, you know, and just listen to good music. But what I found in my journey is that a lot of times when we get caught up in that cycle of just celebrating and partying, we still miss the seasons that we're going through personally.
Yes.
We miss the transition into the next level.
Yes.
You know, don't get stuck. You know, my late bishop used to say in Atlanta, Georgia, you know, your greatest success is the reflection of your past successes.
Wow.
So, you know, we
That's
don't want to
powerful.
get stuck in that. I used to, oh, I did this, I did that. You know, that's a lot of times I don't really go out and like to read my resume. That's already done. That's my past. My success now reflected what I've already done. But where are we going?
Yes.
What are we accomplishing now for our next level?
Yes.
You know, to check ourselves to say, we've done amazing things, but it's time to do even greater.
It's even
You know,
time.
if I talk to the Miz J of 2012, you know, I'm like, girl, you know, if only you knew
Yes.
what you could have accomplished then, you know, that whole, if I knew then what I knew now,
Yes.
it's all part of the journey. And so with P.U.M.P.S, in growing the Power and P.U.M.P.S tour, it's intertwined to remind women that, like you said, we still have a lot of work to do. And that's why we need more women to get connected with their purpose and
Yes.
get passionate about it. And to do it, there's no competition. You know, we need people who are experts in the culinary arts, who are expert in digital marketing, because I can't do it.
Yes.
So how amazing is it that you and I come together and we put our gifts together and we put our resources together to share this amazing thing that we have created, you know?
Yes.
How many more women can we reach?
Yes.
You know, pretty soon the voice of San Joaquin County will be so big that you have to open up a whole nother studio
Yes.
because you have given so many opportunities
hear
to
that,
people. So that's really the premise of what pushes me and propels me into doing it. I'm no better than anybody else.
Yes.
Got the same struggles, same living life, drinking the same water.
Yes. I drink bottled water. but
I
go
drink
ahead.
bottled water, but I get mine from Walmart. So I don't know. I'm coming up. I'm trying to do better. But I said, I know we got to stay professional.
I'm bougie with it.
I got that
I
crystal
to the
geyser that
I
be
go
on
to the
sale.
water store.
I know. I'm still on Crystal Geyser
I
that
go
be on
to the
sale. I'm not
water
trying to even
store.
endorse a brand. I'm sorry, you guys. Might have to bleep that out,
Yes.
Don.
Go to the local water store. Go to your local water store. There you go. Yes.
But yeah, I just think it's amazing.
Yes.
And how much more we can do, like you
Yes.
said, if we come together and get secure in
Yes.
knowing ourselves.
Absolutely. One more thing before we get out of here, we have to talk about the African American luncheon.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I came to your first one. That's
Yes.
how I met you. Actually, I
Uh-huh.
met you there, the first one, and then the second one I had the honor. to
You
be
were
one of the
honored.
I was so nervous.
I don't know
But
why.
I pushed through it, and I don't even know what happened. I allowed one of my ancestors to come through me that day. When I watched the video, I was like, was that me?
Yes, that was you.
I was like,
All
oh,
you.
Don't replay that. So, and then you just had it recently. Okay, so real quick, how do you choose your honorees for the community?
I actually have help.
Okay.
Most of the time, I like to be in control.
That's another
I'll
subject.
I'll tell people in a minute. When it comes to honoring someone,
Yes.
I have been trained properly, and I have been processed enough to understand what bias really is and how not to be and when to be.
Yes.
And
that's
so
very
when
important.
it's very important.
Yes.
And when you are honoring someone, the African American Legacy Luncheon is supported by P.U.M.P.S, but it is truly a Miz J production. That is a vision that it's kind of like a bucket list type thing. That's
Yes.
something I've always wanted to do for not just home, but pretty soon it'll expand to honor, for lack of a better term right now, unsung African Americans in our community. A lot of times it is ignored. And traveling, living in the South for over 15 years, I saw in my son and in children a certain air of confidence that was interpreted as arrogance or, whatever. Knowing that anything is possible in today's society with the racial climate that we have, our Black and brown children really truly don't understand that anything is still possible for them.
Yes.
Especially in wonderful mixed states like California. There's nothing wrong with having a biracial child. There's nothing wrong with seeing the diversity, but we have to understand the importance of culture enrichment.
Yes.
And in the African American community, we are one of the few that are connected to our true culture. We have lost our ancestry. And because we have done that, generations after generations are diminishing themselves because they don't see a reflection of themselves true living like in today.
Yes.
With Black History Month, with a lot of things that are going on, a lot of the pioneers, a lot of the heroes that our children read about are in books already dead or too old or too big to even connect to.
Yes.
So my passion was to make sure that we show who is doing some amazing things right here, right now, that you can reach out and touch them.
Yes.
It's not a fairy tale in a storybook. Even with you and my son Isaiah, he loves, shout out to my son. I want to do it, not a shameless plug,
We
but
can do it on the next
on the next
part
one.
two, yeah.
But he loves food. And I'm not a culinary expert, but because he was able to connect with you, he had some experiences that I couldn't afford to give him.
Yes.
And now he's confident. Now he called me earlier today. Can I cook? At 10, he wants to get a whole meal together and have lunch ready for mom when she gets back. Those type of things is what I wanted for our youth, to be able to say, if you want to be a pharmacist, you can. You want to be a doctor, you can. Because the common thing and the truth of the matter in California is you rarely see a Black doctor or African American doctor. You rarely see African American pharmacists. You rarely see, your garbage man. You don't even look to see what they are. And if children have these passions or are able to see themselves, then they have a confidence to say, oh, I know I can, because this guy does it, this woman does it, and they look just like me. And that was the passion that fueled the African American Legacy Luncheon, and one of the main reasons why you were selected. So back to getting directly to your question, how the honorees are selected, I've partnered with the Friends of San Joaquin County Library System. The Maya Angelou Library hosts it with me all the time. So thank you to Alex, and the new director over there is Bill, who comes together to help. So it's kind of a collaboration throughout the year. We're watching, we know, who's doing what, but to be biased, to make sure that we are targeting those people who aren't what I call Stockton famous.
Yes.
We already see them. They've already gotten their light, they've already gotten the platform. But to make sure that we're highlighting the people that we don't see all the time. And even with you, you have done amazing things with Cannoli, but a lot of people didn't know the depth of what you have done. And so some of the other honorees, people would assume they would get awarded for something and then say, oh, well, she does that too? Yes, you can do that too.
Yes.
So it is a collaboration. It is a process of where we want to make sure we highlight what's uncommon. And it has been a success for 3 years, and I'm looking for 3+ more years to come.
All right. Well, I do want to say thank you for that.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you're able to get out to that next year, go to Miz J online. Also visit her website as well. Give me your information.
So you can reach me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Miz J, MIZ online. It's the same, actually Twitter too. But my website is P.U.M.P.S, P.U.M.P.S for women.org, and all the information will be posted. And I interact, so you reach out, I'll respond.
And I just wanted to say real quick before we leave, the African American Luncheon, I like the way that you do it. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And the fact that you are awarding people. People are being recognized by not only by the city, but they're being recognized by the state of California.
The assembly, state assembly office, and the senator's office.
Yeah, so this is a huge deal as well. And the Stockton Record comes on board, and many other people come out as well. And they highlight it, they take pictures, they write articles about it, they film it. And so, yes, thank Thank you very much for that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We're coming back for part 2. Stick around for part 2 with
Miz J.
All right, Chef Tobias Cooks here with the voice of San Joaquin, formerly known as the voice of Stockton. Please log on to our YouTube, Facebook page. Click share and donate. You can catch me, Chef Tobias Cooks, at Chef Tobias Cooks Radio. I'll see you on part 2.
Chef Tobias Cooks. Da 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 da, shabba da do da da da, shabba da 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 da, shabba da 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 da, shabba.